These are some example problems for Chapter 5, Section 5 from the Homework Practice Workbook. And what we are going to experience in the first set of directions is asking us how understanding of these customary units. And so page 249 has some examples of what different customary units represent, kind of a benchmark for each of them. And they're important to understand, because this way you'll have an understanding of what something else might end up being. For instance, on number 2 here, it asks us for the capacity of a large soup pot. And so capacity, when we're talking about capacity, customary units that we use are going to either be a fluid ounce, right over here, fluid ounces, cups. There's other ones, actually there's a pint and a quart as well, but gallons is another one. And so they just list a few. These are not all the capacities, but these are some of them. And so what we're going to try to do is figure out which of these would we end up using. Would we talk about fluid ounces? Well, fluid ounce is only a small amount of water in 2 tablespoons. So that's not very big. You know, a tablespoon kind of looks something like this, maybe about this big around. And then it would fill up the space pretty much in there, and so that wouldn't be right. You know, a large soup pot, that'd be like, you know, taking just a bite of soup, so definitely not that. A cup, well, a cup is, you know, a little bit bigger than this cup they show here. Well, that really wouldn't make sense either, so that's about the, you know, size of, well, maybe your fist or something like that. Well, a gallon would make more sense, because, you know, you're going to have a large soup pot might hold about a gallon of material, or a gallon of soup, and so you would say a gallon. And the reason why you'd use a gallon is because, you know, we'd say because a gallon, or a large soup pot, is, or maybe holds, let's say that, holds the amount of a large milk jug. And so use the terminology they use here. It says a gallon is about the size of a large milk jug. And actually, you know, you buy gallon-size milk, or a half gallon, or sometimes a quart, or even a pint. But typically, you know, when you buy those big plastic containers, that's a gallon of milk right there. And so gallon is what we'd end up using. The reason would be because a large soup pot holds the amount of a large milk jug. That would make sense. So that's what they're asking for you to do. Not just choose, but also justify your answer. So the weight of an elephant. Well, weight. Well, we've got a few different weight terms we have here. We've got ounces. Now, these ounces are different than fluid ounces. So that's why we call this fluid ounces here. Here, ounces represents weight also. And, you know, you figure you pick up a piece of bread. Well, that's about an ounce. A pound, well, about 3 apples, they say. And a ton, well, never picked up a buffalo, but that's what they say a ton is. So we'll go ahead and take a look at a weight of an elephant. Well, an elephant's about the size of a buffalo or so, maybe a little bit bigger than a buffalo. So I wouldn't say an elephant is about the size of an apple. No, it'd be a lot of apples to make up an elephant. I guess it kind of depends on the age of the elephant, but we're thinking of a large elephant. So let's say that an elephant would be, we'd probably use a ton if we're talking about a large elephant. Even a small elephant, I think, weighs a lot. Wouldn't maybe go with pounds, but definitely a ton on a large elephant. So a ton for a full-grown elephant, because it weighs about the same as a buffalo. So there you have it. So the next few problems are going to be ones on dealing with unit conversions, and we'll see that in part 2.